For the second time in U.S. history, a former president on the campaign trail narrowly survives a would-be assassin's bullet. Good morning and welcome to All Indiana Politics. I'm Garrett Bergquist. Former President Donald Trump is recovering after a shooter opened fire on him at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Convention delegates historically have deferred to the winner of their party's primary for governor on who to pick for lieutenant governor. That did not happen this time. But it's not just American students that have been demonstrating in support of Palestinians. We've seen protests all over the world in recent days, including in France and Australia. This is footage from demonstrations at Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland. IMPD wants its motorcycle drill team to reflect well on the department. So getting selected to take part is one of the best honors any motorcycle officer can ask for. This is about what 25 feet looks like. That's the minimum distance police say they need to identify and respond to a threat. But civil liberties advocates say this could provide an opportunity to shield misconduct from view. The white oak forests here at NSA Crane have been here longer than the base has, and now some of these trees are going to put the iron in old Ironsides. Now, this photo from the Indiana State Police shows just how close the driver came to getting hurt or killed. I counted at least 3 bullet holes in the windshield, and you can see one of those bullets went through the windshield and the driver's seat while she was driving.
Yeah, Phil, I was about to say, it's probably good that we're doing this live shot during halftime, because otherwise it was just an absolute din in here. Before the game, they announced there are 12,000 students here in Mackey Arena. Take a look around. You can still see most people are in their seats. They are packed all the way to the rafters.
Hundreds of thousands of households in Indiana still don't have access to high-speed internet. This new set of federal funding could bring some projects to your area by the end of this year. Convention delegates historically have deferred to the winner of their party's primary for governor on who to pick for lieutenant governor. That did not happen this time. Mike Braun announced last month he wanted delegates to pick Julie McGuire. He says he wanted someone with legislative experience.
Let there be no doubt that the Braun-McGuire team will fight for you and your family and always protect our way of life. Mike and I need your help and your vote to make Indiana a beacon of freedom and opportunity.
But Bergquist launched his own insurgent campaign for lieutenant governor a year ago. He became prominent during the COVID-19 pandemic for his protests against lockdowns and vaccine and mask mandates.
This is not a ratification vote. This is a vote on the direction of Indiana.
That meant convention delegates had to decide the running mate, which is unusual. Former President Donald Trump endorsed McGuire late Thursday. It wasn't enough. Bergquist got 891 votes to McGuire's 828.
I am humbled, I'm overwhelmed, and I am encouraged that Indiana knows that the power of the government rests with the people.
Bergquist has previously told News 8 he plans to take a more active role in the legislative process than lieutenant governors historically have. The lieutenant governor presides over the state senate, but can only vote to break a tie. Braun struck a cordial tone. He says he and Bergquist largely have the same goals, but he says he still wants Bergquist to fall into line.
Most Hoosiers are going to be interested in real results. I feel good about that. This ain't going to make any difference. I'm going to be the chief executive. I'm going to have a legislature that if I communicate with them, get along with them, that's going to happen. And Micah is going to have some particular responsibilities along the way. And to me, this is no different than when you have a little bump in the road and you make the best out of it, and that's what I intend to do.
Democrats still have to hold their convention. That is scheduled for July 13th here in Indianapolis at the Indiana Convention Center. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates. Galilea Romo is one of the first 2 members of her family to go to college. She's about to start her senior year here at IUPUI.
I wanted to work on facial reconstruction because I think that is so cool, so interesting.
Galilea Romo already knows what she wants to do after she graduates.
I still have 1 more year left as I finish up my degree in medical humanities and health studies, and I'm also doing a pre-med track, so I'm hoping to head into some medical school, hopefully IU Medical.
Getting this far wasn't easy.
My parents both came here without knowing very much English. So when we were growing up, they struggled a lot with a lot of the forms that we had to do for school, so my older sister took on a lot of that responsibility.
Both Galilea and her sister got into the 21st Century Scholars Program. It covered 100% of their tuition at IUPUI. Galilea nearly lost her scholarship thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic.
We were struggling for a bit, thinking about whether I wanted to go working full-time before I started school so that we wouldn't be struggling so much.
Any middle school student who receives free or reduced price school meals is eligible for 21st Century Scholars. But the Commissioner for Higher Education says fewer than half go through the application process. State lawmakers this spring almost unanimously approved a measure to automatically enroll those students in the program.
By automatically enrolling students, we are literally going to double the number of students. We expect to enroll upwards of 20,000 students additional.
Lowry says statistics show those students will earn more, live longer, and be less likely to need public assistance. Romo will have to pay for medical school. She says her family's not too worried about that because they were able to save on her undergraduate education. She mentors other 21st Century Scholars and expects more will start showing up.
I know that a couple of parents out there say that it stresses them out to have to enroll these students so early in their schooling career, and I feel like overall it would just make it a whole lot better for everyone involved.
The automatic enrollment law takes effect July 1st. Parents can still opt out of the program if they so choose. On the IUPUI campus, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook. IMPD wants its motorcycle drill team to reflect well on the department, so getting selected to take part is one of the best honors any motorcycle officer can ask for.
I have been desiring to be a motor officer since a kid. I recall going down to the old Busch Stadium where the guys would practice at, in the back there, and sitting watching them sitting on my moped, and it was always a big eye-opener for me.
Officers Stephen Scott and Carlos Pettiford have been riding motorcycles since they were little.
Once I got on IMPD, I saw a lot of their drill team shows, and that piqued my interest. So I was like, well, if I ever get on IMPD, that was going to be my next step and goal to join the drill team.
Your switches here, make sure that everything's working.
They're both experienced motorcycle officers with IMPD's traffic unit. Early this year, Scott and Pettiford asked to join the drill team.
Me and him kind of talked about it, for several months before we even asked to join, and he kind of motivated me to step in.
They've been practicing with the rest of the team every Monday since.
Very dream come true to be on the motorcycle traffic unit and ride a motorcycle. So you get a motorcycle to ride for work.
Their first performance will be the 500 Festival Parade on Saturday. Guys getting any performance anxiety from having to debut on the biggest stage the drill team does?
It's a little intense, but I look forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a competitive person. I like challenges and stuff. The anxiety is there, but that's what keeps you motivated, and that's what keeps you on point.
The drill team is a subset of IMPD's traffic unit. Members are chosen for their riding capabilities and the way they interact with the community. Team members practice and perform on their own time and at their own expense. They still carry out their regular police duties.
When you're doing the choreography and doing the moves, it does wear you out. I know every practice, I felt like I got beat up.
Yeah, I definitely go home with sore neck, sore forearms. You can tell that you've been out here whipping almost 1,000-pound machine around.
But they say the community connections they build on the bike, and especially on the team, are more than worth it.
A lot of people come up to us on the motorcycle, and we have conversations, we talk. I mean, that's our way of giving back to the community and also being in the community, especially being in the rougher areas on the motorcycle. I mean, they just come out of woodwork and you just be sitting there, they just come up and talk to you.
And the drill team doesn't just perform during the month of May. You can also catch them at the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the Circle City Classic, and the Veterans Day Parade. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Well, INDOT officials say they now know roughly when they'll reopen a major highway through downtown Noblesville.
Yeah, the State Road 32 project hit a snag earlier this month after an unexpected discovery. News 8's Garrett Bergquist found out how the delay is going to affect businesses there.
INDOT officials now say State Road 32 here in downtown Noblesville will remain closed through the beginning of August. One downtown business owner tells me that just adds to the pressure she's been under all summer.
Then you met Bruce.
Between INDOT and local projects, Carrie Klaus has had construction right outside her store for 3 months.
I miss my customers. I miss faces. It's just quiet. It's just a little surreal.
She says she's had about 10% of the foot traffic she normally gets.
Are you going to be able to survive?
Well, that's a good question. Hopefully. I mean, we're trying to do our best and we're just trying to stay positive about everything.
She'll have to wait just a little longer. Construction on State Road 32 got put on hold earlier this month. Workers found old fuel tanks that were once used to heat historic buildings.
If it's not a tank, then it's a power line, or it's a line that wasn't supposed to be where it was, or it's a million other things. But what's really good is that we see it, and then we are the ones that get to kind of put it in a system so that way we know for the future projects.
Kramer says crews took care of signal work while they were waiting for inspections to finish, so it wasn't a total loss. They'll have to remove one tank. The rest will be filled and left where they are. She says this put the project about a week behind schedule. Klaus says INDOT workers have told her they'll work as fast as they can. She says her quarrel's with the people who put the tanks there in the first place, not INDOT.
I think as soon as we get the good to go, then we'll see the end in sight, I hope. Crossing all my fingers.
Kramer says this will be the last closure associated with the State Road 32 project. There's one more phase, but she says it mainly involves signal work. In Noblesville, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.